Okay, I want to say hello again, everybody, and welcome to another simple martial arts lesson at home. Basic, very simple Kung Fu training. Okay, I want to say hello again, everybody, and welcome to another simple martial arts lesson at home. Basic, very simple Kung Fu training. Remember, martial arts is for your health in mind and body, control of the self, and basic self-defense. It's not about being tough and having an ego. It's not about having fancy, the most amazing fancy looking movements and showing off in any way. It's not even about necessarily having a big muscular physique. You can have an amount of strength and flexibility in you that you can work with. You can work with this physical and mental, we could call it existence, what you are, in many ways, but we are still limited. The same way as we can react and adapt to the world and even the dangers around us, but we are still limited. So we're not invincible. But martial arts is about experience, and it's not about daydreaming either, okay? Now, my background is in a lot of different martial arts. I've trained a lot over the years since I was 12. In this video, I'm almost now nearly 41 years of age. I've trained in various forms of martial arts. I started with karate, and I still share a bit of that to this day, including within my Kung Fu training. I've trained various systems of Kung Fu and weapons training in traditional martial arts. I've also trained kickboxing. And one of the main styles that I do share is Wing Chun, okay, which is Yung Chun Chuan. And also, I share all that I can from different systems of Kung Fu that I've learned in my life too. Anyway, I don't want to talk and ramble and waste time here. I want to just show you a few basic movements that you can practice at home. And remember, the best thing you can do is avoid fights. It's not about fighting. The best thing you can do, is to never have a fight in your life. Never put yourself in danger's way. A long time ago, one of my teachers, and a lot of people have said this in the world, but martial arts world, but one of my Kung Fu teachers said a long time ago, the best block, the best defense is to not be there. Now, sometimes we're in a situation where we can't be ready, but it's always good to have some mobility. What we need to do is train mobility and structure, posture, balance, all that stuff, strength and endurance, calmness, and how to work with the hard and the soft in the mind and body, which is yin and yang. Okay. Now, which is why I also always talk about the Tao philosophy, as written in the book, the wonderful book by the great ancient Chinese philosopher whose name was Lao Tzu, who wrote the Tao Te Ching. In this video, excuse me, I want to just mention that again briefly. Okay, there are two sides to it. Martial arts, when you train by yourself, you train coordination, you train awareness of yourself in the surroundings, and it's an exercise. It really is movement, and you need to do some basic exercise in general to have some basic flexibility and strength. Martial arts movements and positions will bring different kinds of strength and ability to you as an exercise as well. And by training different martial art techniques from different systems, they also show differences. This shows us what it is not. In other words, this shows us that, and that shows us this. The small shows us the big, and the big shows us the small. The one shows us the many show us the one. You see, in different ways, we see the very lessons of the way of truth and nature, which is the Tao. And in many other ways, we don't see it as well. We miss it. But it's there. So we are limited, and martial arts teaches us to be humble, rather be honest and truthful within ourselves, and to be able to continue on the path of self-development. I know it sounds like I'm talking a lot. It sounds like theory. When someone punches you in the face, I think Mike Tyson even said, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Well, luckily I've never been, I have been hit in the face in kickboxing training and stuff like that, even lightly, but nobody likes to get hit in the nose. I've also broken my nose in a different accident, but nobody likes to be hit in the face or have, you start seeing those tears. However, martial arts can teach you so much, and it makes you more ready in many situations. Okay, so right now I'm just going to show you a few simple, very, very simple maneuvers. The kind of maneuvers which you'll find in various Kung Fu systems and a bit of karate too. So let me just hold on 1 second while I close my window so it doesn't get too noisy in here. Okay, so I'm not using a really fancy, amazing, expensive camera and microphone. I'm just using my phone. This is real life, and this is real things I'm sharing with you here, okay? There's another thing that is said, which is, seeing is believing, but feeling is the truth, which brings me on again to the second part of training. In martial arts, you need to train with people and have some practice when it comes to the self-defensive part, to learn how to move in accordance with the movement and position of another person, the reaction. An art is only a dance or an exercise at best. If you don't train like that, because you need to train reaction, you need to train awareness, and then learn how to work with the shape of things. See, we need to understand the flow of another person's movements, the same as we need to understand someone's words, someone's heart. We need to know how to be able to listen so that we know how to speak. The water needs to understand the space without any thinking or pre-planning, just to naturally be able to flow into the space naturally. And that is what we need to do in martial arts. Kung Fu, okay, the lesson, really the masterful way, is of the Tao, and that is the lesson of life. So the best is to not be restricted by a shape and a structure, but to be able to become one with everything, or rather not be separated from that, which upholds the very energy and being of this wonderful existence, of the beautiful life and lives we have shared within the light and energy of this universe. Okay. Wow, I sound like a book talking, don't I? Anyway, so what I'm going to show you in this video, okay, Just a few basic things simply now. Now, I'm very sorry you can't see my feet here, but I've got bare feet and I'm wearing a simple thin pair of Kung Fu trousers. You can be wearing a tracksuit bottoms, sports clothes or comfortable clothes. That's fine, okay? Now, when we stand in a fighting position, okay, when we stand, you do not want to pose. This is the first thing I want to say. In martial arts, we do not pose. We don't do a show and take up a stance and say, here I am, let's fight, or even like any kind of show like that, a Kung Fu stance or any kind of stance to say, I'm going to fight, let's go. We don't show anything. We are not fazed by an opponent to the point where we lose our mind. Even if they do seem intimidating and dangerous and there's nowhere to run, so you're forced to fight, you do not necessarily want to engage and give the opponent any impression of what you're about to do. Put it that way. So why do we have a fighting stance in martial arts? Okay? Apart from the fact of it itself being a strong structure and a strong guard, when we have a fighting stance like this, or like any kind of fighting stance like boxing, really, it's training. It's for training. Okay, it's for training purposes to have some guard, a position, a neutral position to start from. We're going to throw our attacks or our defenses from. Okay. I'm going to do some movements very softly and very calmly here in control, just to show you some basic stuff. Okay, right now. So the point is, when you see something like Wing Chun, okay, which is Yung Chun Chuan, when you see that, it's a very simple, small guard, like it's very small, nothing fancy. But even here, even this seems a bit fancy, right? Because it's if you start from that point, from a guard and you're in a stance, what are you doing really, you know? It should be natural that you're just a natural, normal person from any position standing, that you can protect yourself when a person's coming to hit you. If you can't move out of the way, then you're able to cover with your hands and stop someone, you know, hitting you. And that can come from boxing, okay, as I've said as well, same thing. So a boxing guard is not really for show. Unless two people are standing there, you could be anywhere, out on the street, not only in a ring, but if you do this and you get into a stance and you're both like that, you know each person's about to fight. In a boxing ring, it's no different. But in a boxing ring, this here is a good guard still. You're bringing these hands into position, you know, to cover your body, okay, your ribs, your head, you know, all this, you're covering and working with some kind of defensive, strong structure. Now let me show you a few basic movements though, from a karate and kung fu perspective. You see these kind of stances, very simple. I take a step back. In traditional martial arts, you find it in ninjutsu. There are different guards in Japanese martial arts, like ninjutsu and aikido also. If I step back into a stance like this, my legs are fairly wide, not super wide, but I just take a small step back, bend my knees slightly, and my hands are in front like this. My body's slightly on the angle, just slightly, and I'm looking forward at the target. One hand's here as a guard. This back hand is also a guard, similar to Wing Chun when I'm here. But what I'm doing is I'm standing back like that, and I'm bending my knees to have a strong base for my legs here, okay? My feet are slightly turned in like a 45 angle, so my body is effectively on a diagonal here, and I'm facing to the side here. That is to say, I'm not on the side like that, and I'm not directly straight like that. I'm just diagonal. My legs are not too far apart, my feet are flat on the floor, and I'm bending my knees, and my hips are there. I'm breathing naturally, okay? Just nice and in position, okay? If I just take a step in this direction, step back here, I can also face in this direction here. I can change also, so from here to here. This backhand is a defense. A defense, okay? So what I'm doing is, effectively, is I'm getting into a fighting position, ready. I could be stepping back, I can be stepping forward. But the point is, you don't want to walk into someone's fist. So when you're defending, we usually say step back, right? Or at least step to the side, or remain neutral when we're facing an opponent. There are different kinds of stepping. There are circular stepping, there's cross stepping, There's skipping, there's just normal stepping. I'm not going to get involved with all of that in this video. I'm not going to get into all of that or other too many hand and leg techniques either. But the thing is, in martial arts, we also talk about engaging, coming straight in, forward, even when we're guarding with our hands and our arms and hands here to guard, to cover up, to close the gap. Don't give them any space, the opponent, and come in like that water flowing into the space. So I can block and strike in. Now let's look at this, okay? In a lot of traditional martial arts, and you'll see this in Kung Fu systems and in Karate, there are techniques where you may be like this, and you do a punch like this, for example, in a stance, you bend in your knees, and you do this. I might be turning on my hips there and punching. Or from the other hand, but when I'm doing this, it gives power. I'm doing it very softly, slowly for you here. When you do it fast, you get power from the hips and the shoulders and the hips movement to a twist. See, I'm sinking my base and coming in. Wow, to strike, okay? But what I'm saying is when you do this, this hand comes back to your hip. It comes far away. Like you're pulling, so you're pulling a rope or something to pull this power in. But it's not good for defense. You want to have another hand here protecting. And you want to make it not too much of a big movement, yet still have enough power, like you would get from a twisting, powerful, big movement. So if I'm standing here, okay, if I'm standing here on the spot, notice how I've got my hands here open, okay? I bring my thumbs in. Sometimes I have them just open like this, just naturally, but sometimes I have my thumbs in and the fingers together, and I tense them up a little bit here. So this is called the knife edge of the palm. It's the hand, okay, knife edge of palm. And this goes all along the side here with the bony part of my forearm. When I'm here, so I'm taking a step back, for example, I leave my guard there, see, from this side it's like this. So this hand's back here. I can block. My hands effectively become like swords in my mind, or swords or blades in my mind. I'm just thinking that, okay, so my arms become strong, okay? And what I do is, as I do a block here, if someone's going to throw a punch to my face, if someone's going to push or strike me to my body, I block. I move this out. I just chop out. I use my arm and my knife edge of my palm here to block, either on the inside or the outside of this arm to stop the arm. So I'm knocking it away. And with this hand's not too far, I'm not bringing it here. It's just right here. And I come straight in with that punch. Here, so, see? From this side, same thing. From here, I may even have this as a fist. Not too tense, but it's already like a fist. Softly, just a loose fist. So this is here. I might have my fingers open like this, maybe. But what I do is I close them here and stiffen that up when on the moment to chop out. I may even chop my chopping hand here against his wrist on either the outside or the inside as he's coming. Together. Together, okay? If the person's throwing a swing, to swing round rather than a straight punch, same thing. I can move my arm just slightly out, just twisting through this twisting motion, blocking against the arm. So my arm is blocking against his arm, so it can't come round and get me. And this is punching to the body, sinking my base, bending my knees, a little smack, punching to the body or to the head, okay? When I take a step to this side now, I can also step back and do a low block from here. Still using this principle, so my arms are like swords. You see, coming in, out even just slightly like that, rolling over. So I can block and hit. I could even block down like this, just blocking with my arm. If he's going to hit my body, I block. See, and then come over the top here for a punch, and come for a straight punch if I wanted to. But the idea is I'm here, and this can go low. From here, see, low. Notice how I keep this one high to protect my body, my head here, my face. From here, see, or up high like that. From here, so when I'm moving around, notice how I can go. Coming in, and roll the hands over. I'm looking at the camera, try to look forward. Here. So my hands are almost like chopping, but they're on an angle like this, slightly rolling. See, so I'm here, very small, I just chop and punch. I might come from here, under. I can come over like a wheel or under, see? And here. I can also step to the side, like a circular step. So when someone's coming towards me, to punch towards my face, I can, if I want to, step to the side and throw a hook punch with my own. A circular motion. I can be just standing here naturally and step a little forward on a diagonal here and twist my waist. Boom, see? So it's like as I'm going around, as I'm cutting here, twisting away, this can hit to the body, either like that, or like that, okay? The low block works exactly the same, and you can block to a lower strike, whether it be a hand strike or a kick. If someone's coming to hit my body, I can block to the side here, as I step away, and strike even up to his face from here. See? Stepping and striking. So I'm protecting from the side, like my arms are two swords, okay? We can also do the parry block with the palm. So I'm stepping, I'm parrying. Stepping a little to the side, I'm parrying. As he comes to hit my face, to punch me, I parry, and I move. I just take a small step to the side and turn. Notice how my hips turn though, when I do that circular motion. Now it's harder for me to get that punch in. So what I really want to do is do this. I'm standing here just naturally here. As they come to hit, I can block, parrying with my palm, parrying against the outside of his hand. As he's coming to punch me, I parry, I go low with my two knees, they're bending a little bit, especially this one, and this one comes straight through. Or palm striking him, or any kind of punch like that, you see. It's the same thing. This side, simultaneous, 1 and 2, not 1, 2, but together, okay? A few basic techniques with the hands you can use. So when my hands are coming out like this, I want to make sure that it's useful. They're rolling here. This can stop with this part or here, and I can come with a straight punch here. I may come over like this, like a sword, see my hand, down, and this one might come in anywhere, striking you. It could be a punch. So this arm and this hand is blocking down, or to the side a little bit like that. Here you see, or low, not too big, but to protect your body, your rib cage, your guts, your groin, see. I might come here, okay? And walking in, can parry with my palms now blocking. Outer blocks, different things you can do, okay? Now let's look at one more thing while I'm here. When I'm here, okay, actually two more things. Not to mention that we can do elbow strikes with the flat part here too, coming in. But also, we can also be in a stance like this, or a stance like this, with this palm slightly up, either lower or slightly higher, at the middle here. From here, as I bend my knees in a kind of horse stance, marabou kind of position, we can simply come here and bring this back and punch, and then come back. Here. Okay, from this side. If it's punching from this side, see, I would come here. If I was punching from this hand, I would be punching here, see. This hand comes back here. I twist my hips forward. Both of my knees are bent. I could lock the back leg straight and have more emphasis on the front leg, like a bow stance. Or just bend them both and just twist. This fist comes back to your hips, like I said, for an exercise. Also back slightly higher here too. Okay? But the point is, when I come back here on the angle, I'm here. I go along this line, see, this comes back here. It can be like an open palm if you wish to, like that. You see, from this side, here. You can twist from here, 1, and back. And back, okay? Stepping in this kind of position is a good position. You'll find this in karate also. And we're looking at one more thing, which is a kick you can do. From here, get used to being coordinated with your arms and legs, your hands and your feet, okay? So when I'm walking, normally with my hands, I'm just walking. It doesn't matter if my right foot is in front and my left hand is in front, or my right hand, I can be like right foot and right hand, left foot and left hand. It's the same as going into a stance, so like this, see, or here, and then either way. So when my hands are here, I can get used to using my hands to guard and throw a kick, okay? So I'm here, I can guard with this, blocking against the person's arms, whether they're coming towards my body, or maybe the person's already in a guard of some kind, or they're coming in, maybe they've already grabbed onto me, my clothes, or they're in a stance themselves, which you don't usually see. But the idea is I'm going to come in, not for show, but come in and grab their arms. So when I'm doing this, I can even just grab. But we're not going to go in that close range and work those knees and elbows and low kicks. There's a lot of things you can do when you're in that close range. But we're just saying from like a close enough distance. As they're engaging with you or you're engaging with them, the point is you're going to bend your knees, okay? Bend your knees for some stability and be able to not put too much weight on the leg that you are wanting to lift, obviously, because you want to have that spring. Have your awareness of your surroundings too, around you, okay? And be here. And so however I'm blocking with my hands, as I'm blocking down on his arm as he's coming in, I can throw a kick from here, either leg. We lift up the knee, the other foot is flat on the floor and the knee's bent on that leg too. You lift up this knee, pull the toes back and push out with the ball of the foot, or the thrusting whole sole of the foot, the bottom of the foot. You can even thrust with your waist if you wish to. But the idea I'm saying is you're walking in, closing the space. I'm closing up with whichever hand. I'm going to block down against his arms and throw a kick. I may even be chopping and striking him with these motions, like chopping across to the net or hitting him low. These can be fists too. I could be grabbing him and punching, coming from here, blocking across, palming at the same time as doing a kick, whatever. So you want to get that coordination, see, of doing various different movements. As I'm doing that, you see here, for example, I'm blocking with one hand here, either to a swing or just on that center. As I'm coming, I'm blocking up high here, and I'm throwing a kick from either leg. It could be this leg or the other. See? Wow. See? Okay. One, block, punch. See? From this side. Block, one. From this side, any angle, moving naturally. One, I block, I kick, I punch, I move in. Blocking, punch, block. See, block, come back and punch again. You can punch from the lead hand or with the back hand and be natural, okay? So a few basic movements for you there, okay? Make sure you keep loosened up and nice and natural with your body too. And also I'm breathing, you know. And as I said, make sure you cover your face, don't cover your vision, but protect your face and your body, yeah? Keep out of the line of fire. Make sure you can always protect yourself, and the opponent's in the line of fire, but you don't want to defend yourself with attacks unless need be, but you want to protect yourself. Being absent from the danger is better than having to try to cover and block anyway. When we're standing here and defending, we can do many things. You can even use the points of the elbows, like I said, to strike either side, to come back into a fist-like guard with two fists like this, same thing. And be able to open your hands quickly for a palm strike. An open hand naturally to block, see, to parry block, step if you need to. Bring that foot with you. See, when I'm here, I bring one foot and then the other. changing over naturally. 1, 2. See, I might block down with my hand and palm to the face. Or from here, parry down and back fist from the back of the fist this time. And come back. Okay? From here, your side kicks and different kicks should come from different angles. As I said, we're not getting too much into that in this video. Okay? And I already explained to you earlier, briefly, a few other things. If you watch this video again, you may catch some of the things I've said. Such as one of them being the elbow, with the flat part of the elbow here coming across. Or the point here to the side. From here, I may block in a close range. I may even grab the guy's elbow and come across with my elbow to hit. Or here, I may come back with an outer block and a punch, or a straight punch like in Wing Chun. It's all there. With the rolling palms, the rolling knife hand, sword hand type techniques. Arms okay, excuse me. To roll over, bending the knees for some stability. You can get smaller stance work, bigger stance work, a righteous attitude and a right mindset. And blocking, okay, low or high. Here, stepping to the side. Even in this kind of position here. Parry, cut out, all in structure. Here, coming in the same time, blocking up high, hitting, blocking out, making a circular kind of motion, striking to the rib cage, punching, hooking, covering down, blocking against one hand or two when they come in a push, and then this hand comes up, not from a mile away, twist in, chopping out, blocking down and chopping over, blocking down and chopping in. Many different techniques we can do in Kung Fu, and also respect, of course, to the original karate systems too. I'll say thank you for watching this video. Martial arts for life. Train hard and stay safe. Regularly practice hard. Traditional martial arts is not a joke. You have to practice it until the movements become second nature, but not like some bad habit, some reactions that's wrong. Train with people to get good flow and reaction also, if you can. Okay, I want to say hello again, everybody, and welcome to another simple martial arts lesson at home. Basic, very simple Kung Fu training.